widget testing introduction in Flutter. So we have already read about unit testing. So if you haven't, please view the last lecture. Now we will discuss that Flutter test provides us the following tools for testing our widgets. So first is Widget Tester, which allows us to build and interact with widgets in a test environment. Second one is testWidgets function, which creates a new widget tester for us for each of the test cases and is used in place of the normal test function. This test function we had used in the last lecture. Now the finder class, which allows us to find the widgets in this particular test environment, and matcher will help us to match the number of widgets, etc. So basically now let's look at it piece by piece. So first we have our Flutter test dependency, we'll be adding it. Then we'll create a widget for testing. So let's do it step by step. So we first add our Flutter test dependency in the build file. So this is the pubspec.yml file, and we added the Flutter test dependency. Then we create a widget for testing. So I have created my widget, which is an extension of the stateless widget. So I have to implement the build method, override the build method basically. And this basically takes in in the constructor, it takes in a title and a message, and then it in the build method we display the title and the message basically in like in the app bar and the body respectively. Cool. So this is a very simple widget we have. Now we have to create a testWidgets test. So we have our widget to test, and we basically use the testWidgets method, which is provided to us by the Flutter test package. Okay, so it will create a widget tester for us to work with. Okay, so this is how we define a widget test widget. So basically it verifies that this test has a given title and message. So that's why this heading my widget has a title and message. So this is the heading of my test, and then it provides us a widget tester, and then our code goes here, test code goes here inside it. So I just called it and now I will basically like put this test here. So build the widget using the widget tester. So I have my tester with me. I will say tester.pump widget, okay, and const my widget, which I created earlier, and will provide some title and some message to it. So same is written here. We pump our widget in the test environment, widget tester, okay, and will basically it will basically build and render the provided widget, which is in this case my widget. Cool. And I have provided some like constructor args to it. Now notes about the pump method. After the initial call to pump widget, the widget tester provides additional ways to rebuild the same widget. Okay, so this is useful if we are working with stateful widget or animations, but in this case it's a stateless widget, simple no state, so we can just work with it. So for example, let's talk about this example also. For example, tapping a button calls set state, but Flutter won't automatically rebuild your widget in the test environment. So we have to use one of the following methods to ask Flutter to rebuild the widget. So tester.pump duration schedules a frame and triggers a rebuild of the widget. If a duration is specified, it advances the clock by that amount and schedules a frame. Okay, and it does not schedule multiple frames even if the duration is longer than a single frame. And then we have a pump and settle. So we repeatedly call pump with the given duration until no longer any frames are scheduled. So this will wait for all the animations to complete. So these are like some methods which provide us fine-grained control over build lifecycle. and are useful while testing. Okay, so now we have our pumped widget in pumped our widget in the test environment. Now we'll search for our widget using a finder. So what we'll do is we will make a title finder is equal to find.text t. So I'm just searching for a text t here, and then I have a message finder which is find.text and then m. So these two things I'm searching. So basically let's read this. With a widget in the test environment, we search through the widget tree and for the title and message text widgets using a finder. So that is what we are searching for here. And basically we'll for this purpose we'll be using a top level find method, which is provided by the Flutter test package, which we initially included. So that is provided out of the box to us, and this will help us create the finders. Since we know that we are looking for text widget, we use the find.text method. So as you can see in our widget which we created earlier, these are both text widgets. So title is put in a text widget, message is also put in a text widget. So hence we'll use find.text. So now we'll see more about the finders in our coming lectures, but yeah, we'll again verify the widget using a matcher. So we have our matcher, which is like the expect method. So finally verify that title and message text widgets appear on the screen using the matcher constants provided by Flutter test. So matcher classes are core of the test package. So basically we'll use a finds one widget matcher here, because these appear only exactly one time in the whole tree. So basically we have some other constants also. So these both will pass, basically assertions will pass, and we have some additional matchers. Finds nothing, like if no widget of that kind is to be found, we have a finds nothing. So maybe there are some conditional statements where in one case we find something, if we provide something else to our constructor args, we don't find anything. So we can test some cases like that using finds nothing. Then we have find widgets, then we have a find n widgets, so then n number of widgets are fine. And if we have a golden file, then it exactly matches the golden file. Basically golden file is a golden standard, which is like an existing bitmap image, so that our widgets rendering exactly matches that particular bitmap image. Again, let's quickly look at the complete example. So here's our main with our test, and here is the widget which we created. So hopefully you understood. If you have any doubts, please let me know. Thank you, friends.